Wait till you're announced. We've not yet lost all our graces. The hounds will...
Brooklyn, the home of the Nets, in a fine Eastern Conference affair here at Barclays Center. And here it comes, the NBA on 2K Sports for myself, Kevin Harlan, and my broadcast partners, Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Welcome, everyone. And this game marks the start of a road trip here for the Raptors. They put it all together over the course of their last 7 games. They've only had 1 loss over that span.
I'll tell you what, Kevin, this team is really homed in on wanting to play its best basketball prior to the All-Star break. They want to have some positive momentum going into that break. And the way they're playing, they're going to have it.
Well, definitely. You don't want to go into the All-Star break feeling bad about yourselves.
So if we're making some changes, Plumlee comes in for Brook Lopez. And Kirilenko's subbed in for Kevin Garnett. And then for Toronto, Amir Johnson's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Hansbrough comes in for Patrick Patterson. And it's Vasquez in for Lou Williams. So for Toronto right now, DeRozan out there with Tyler Hansbrough. Then there's Lowry. Then it's Vasquez. And it's Johnson in at the 5 spot. Allen Anderson's checked in for the Nets. The Raptors also with a sub. Slimmy's checked in for DeMar DeRozan. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
During that break, for his team, he made a point of telling the guys how vulnerable the defense they're facing is to the pick and roll. That'll be a play we see them run a lot this game. Something else he mentioned is that he's giving them the green light on offense. He wants to see a high volume of shots. So still in the opening quarter, and already some adjustments being made. Back to you, Kevin.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. Lowry passes to Tinsley. Kicks it to Johnson. He feeds it to Tinsley. Pass to Lowry. Fades and shoots. And all around the rim that time before dropping in. Lowry's got 7 points.
Kyle Lowry, an inside-outside scoring threat. He's become a deadly three-point shooter. And despite his relatively short stature, he's able to drive inside and finish effectively because of that great strength.
Kirilenko dishes to T. Here's Johnson. Buries the easy one. Johnson's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
I like the way he's not forcing anything, taking advantage of what the defense has given him. He's been a key contributor for them in this quarter.
Johnson with a screen on Anderson. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
Very well executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one off.
Well, it was Toronto winning their last game against the Kings.
And that game, guys, was really a perfect example of how important your bench can be. I thought the reserve production was really the key.
Exactly. That was where a lot of their scoring came from. It was a big game for the backups.
And there's Vasquez on the assist by Johnson. And now just a 1-point Nets lead. Brooklyn's gone 3 of 5 from 3-point land so far in the ballgame. It's stolen by Hansbrough. Now here's Vasquez, guarded closely. Wide open look. And there it is again. Nice make there from Tinsley. Tinsley's got his second basket of the night. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Raptors.
And they've come out in attack mode defensively, applying pressure and stealing the ball repeatedly.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers.
Well, you have to get a hand into his face because that's his range right there.
Trying his luck deep. That's in, coming off an assist from Lowry. Lowry's got 3 assists in the game.
Both teams on fire right from the opening tip.
Pedal to the throttle, Steve, just like we like it.
The kick out to Anderson. Will it go? That's good. Anderson's got a couple of threes now in the first for the Nets.
And he answers right back with a 3 of his own.
Well, you can see it. They're getting into it a bit. A little mano-mano here. One-upsmanship taking place.
Johnson kicks to Vasquez. Johnson with a screen on Johnson. Here's Tinsley. Misses off the left iron.
Well, he's been trying to add that mid-range shot to his arsenal, but it still isn't there.
Johnson, a wide open look. Again, the miss by Johnson.
Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often.
Yeah, they're lucky that they didn't get burned on that one. You see the defenders get out of his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the bucket, but not that time.
Outside T. 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Johnson attacking. He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
And he's been a consistent shooter at the line for them this season, shooting about 78%.
You know, his free throw percentage has dropped this year, but not really enough to raise any red flags or become alarmed about it.
Ross is checked in for Toronto. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Vasquez passes to Johnson. Dishes to Ross. Johnson sets the screen for Ross. Off the screen, and that is good. 9 points for Slim.
They can't afford to give him that kind of look.
Well, it came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to fight over the top of that.
Johnson, that's for 2. Nice jump shot. Good. Here's Ross. Cannot hit. And a good game so far as we conclude the first quarter. Nets out in front, up 1. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Brooklyn.
On tap next Monday, February 2nd, Paul Millsap and the Atlanta Hawks take on Drew Holiday and the New Orleans Pelicans. Be there.
And welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. More action in store as the players get ready to go. Having a nice break to get hydrated with Gatorade. And Steve and Clark and I are refreshed and ready to go here as well. And from Brooklyn guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
And that first quarter was all about pace, guys, because this club really got out into transition, and that's how they built this lead.
They like to play fast, and they're doing a nice job filling the lane.
Plumlee, he's checked in for Lopez. Karolinko comes in for Kevin Garnett. Anderson, he's checked in for Mirza Teletovic. And it's Johnson in for T. A new group in now for the Raptors. Johnson, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Hansbrough's come in for Patrick Patterson. Slim, he's checked in for Terrence Ross. And it's Lowry in for Vasquez. We've got Allen Anderson. Plumlee out there with Andre Karolinko. Then there's Johnson. And it's Bogdanovich in at the 2. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. A 3 from Anderson. That one falls, coming off Johnson's feet. Anderson's got 9.
Looked like there was a little confusion there as to who was supposed to be guarding him.
Lowry with the ball. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Sacramento.
And don't forget, guys, his playmaking was sensational. I mean, he saw the floor, making the game so easy for his teammates.
You know, one of the things the Nets did last year that was pretty impressive, they found value in a number of players who had been overlooked by other teams in the league.
Anderson, a screen on DeRozan. And Bogdanovich kicks to Kirilenko. 5 on the clock. Brooklyn needs to get off a shot here, and that one's good. Now just a 2-point Raptor lead.
Good ball movement. He put that pass in the ideal spot, right where it needed to be.
With the Nets, they did make strong role players out of guys that Steve didn't seem to be on anyone's radar.
Well, it gave them a lot of flexibility over the summer in terms of what they wanted to do personnel-wise. You can never discount how much that can shape the future of a franchise.
Lowry, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Lowry's got 12 points in the game.
Well, he wasn't fazed at all by the bigger man on him, and on the low block, I thought he might be.
You know, Steve, I thought maybe he'd prefer to bring him out to the perimeter, but whatever works, go to it.
And it's Johnson penetrating. And again, it's Brooklyn converting.
He can finish in the post. That's one thing we know about him.
And so here's Toronto. Last time they met was in Toronto.
And Kevin, they played such terrific defense in that game. It took a lot of pressure off them at the other end of the court.
Yeah, and you can't just pick one or two players out who stood out defensively. There was plenty of credit to go around.
Here's Lowry. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
You know, Lowry is playing well. He has 12 points, and he's picked up 6 points from behind the arc.
His outside stroke has looked really good today.
Good on the second free throw.
How about the job they're doing drawing contact and giving themselves opportunities for free points at the line?
My kind of basketball, Steve. No frills, straight ahead, physical play.
Bogdanovich passes to Kirilenko. The kick out to Anderson. That doesn't go on the chance to tie. Toronto leading by 3. Rosen dishes to Tinsley. Fires the 3. Can't hit.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
Quick hands and the ability to anticipate the opening to create a turnover, so valuable, especially for a guard, as we see 2 tremendous talents with their ability to steal that ball away.
And, of course, you look at the numbers. John Stockton with 3,265 steals over his career. Really a crazy number, averaged over 2 a game, and even in his later years, he was a threat in that regard.
And Bogdanovich kicks to Anderson. Bogdanovich passes to Kirilenko. The dish to Anderson. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Johnson. Shoots from 12. Nice jump shot. Good. Johnson's got 4 points this quarter.
Well, he certainly isn't the one to blame for them being in the hole. He's been on the money with his game.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Well, guys, head coach Dwayne Casey has overseen a surprising turnaround in Toronto. Their record has improved in all 3 seasons under his tenure. DeMar DeRozan said, "Since I've been here, he preaches the same thing. He told us to stick with it, and it worked. Everything came together like he said it would." Gentlemen?
Pound the rock. The team motto. They've put in the work and stayed consistent. Thanks, Doris.
Well, offensively, he's taken a solid opening quarter and just built on it here in the second.
Nets trail by 5. Bogdanovich passes to Anderson. Here's Bogdanovich. Now recovering. And Bogdanovich kicks to Anderson. Jacks up a 3, and that one's good. Anderson's got 12 points in the game.
Wow, 4 here in the first half. They're going to need to do something different on defense to trap this guy and lock him up.
There's a screen by Hansbrough. Here's Tinsley, and not a good shot for him. They can get better looks than that. Brooklyn's gone 6 of 12 from outside. A very nice 50% mark, shooting the 3-ball well. The shot's good from Plumlee.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Lowry dishes to DeRozan. Here's Tinsley. He's covered by Anderson. kept alive, goes back up. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. The Raptors shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight. A free throw drops for Hansbrough. And Brooklyn making a change here. He hits one, then misses the 2nd attempt from the free throw line. In transition, here come the Nets. Anderson with the ball. For Brooklyn, they had made 6 of their 7 attempts at the line in this one.
And you look at the numbers for this season, guys, from the free throw line, they're shooting 77%.
And they've made progress in that department from last season going into this one, guys. I mean, the numbers have improved. They should be in front right now, but he'll be relieved not to have come up totally empty there.
And the teams are going to have to wait before heading to the locker room. They're going to bring out the monitor and see if he got that shot off in time.
And a good job by the officials getting together and going to the replay. I mean, remember how frustrating it was before the rule was implemented to see a replay of an easily correctable call?
Yeah, I think the straw that finally broke the camel's back, Clark, was in the 2002 Western Conference Finals. Remember the Lakers beat the Kings by 1 point in that critical Game 4, and that came after LA was awarded a 3-pointer at halftime that was clearly after the buzzer.
And the official call is in. It's ruled a basket. They're overturning the original call after looking at the replay.
And Kevin, this is exactly why we have this rule. And I think they made a great decision putting the rule in. The main thing is you want to get it right. And they definitely got this one right looking at the replay.
Second quarter ends in a tight one. Raptors lead by 2. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Okay, Kevin, here with Coach Casey. And, Coach, you've done a tremendous job forcing turnovers and getting into your transition game. What do you tell your guys to keep doing what they're doing?
Push the ball. We always want to push the ball. That's to stop. But, again, we got to make good decisions. We don't want to come down and give it right back to them and let them run it down our throats at the end. Run the ball, wings get out and run, pass it ahead, but then make good decisions and attack the basket.
Coach, thanks for the time. Gentlemen, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
Okay, guys, let's focus and get down to business. Now, here's a few things I took away from the first half. Number 1, I love the teamwork we're seeing out of you guys. We're tearing them to shreds without passing at the offensive end. Let's keep that going and pile up those assists. I'll say this for us, though. Our shot selection has been terrific. We haven't forced things, and the shots are dropping for us because of that patience. All right, let's break out the pick and roll on these guys. That's going to be the go-to play for us in the second half, as reliable a move as there is. All right, guys, let's get out there and play a good second half.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third.
Johnson, just superb game. He's got 16 points, and what a game he's had passing the ball, too.
Yeah, to watch him spread the ball around, get everybody involved is a thing of beauty.
Let's see what you got, son.
Oh, I got plenty.
And Karolinko's subbed in for Johnson. And then for Toronto, Johnson, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Terrence Ross comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Vasquez in for Williams. So for Toronto right now, Patrick Patterson is out there with Terrence Ross. Then it's Amir Johnson. Then it's Vasquez. In at the 1.
Here's where Toronto sits right now in the league rankings. First in lowest turnovers a game. 4th in free throw percentage. And they also show up in the top 5 in assists. They've got scores, and they're a pretty good passing team as well.
And what's most impressive out of all those numbers, Clark, is the few turnovers that they commit. Because now all of a sudden you're executing, you're putting a lot of pressure on the defense because they know they're not going to force a lot of steals and get out in transition to find easy points. Amir Johnson drafted straight out of high school back in 2005, now in his 10th season in the NBA, and he's only entering his prime now.
Plumlee with the rebound. Brooklyn trailing. left side, Kirilenko. Here's Teague. He's got 6. Here's Bogdanovich. Out of bounds. Next ball as Brooklyn keeps possession. Alan Anderson's checked in for Bogdanovich. Tyler Hansbrough.
Substitution on the court.
Guys, a comeback probably not in the cards at this point.
Yeah, unless something dramatic and drastic occurs.
Yeah, something crazy would have to happen. I think you can pretty much put a bow on this one.
Marcus Teague out there with Johnson. Then it's Garnett. Then it's Plumlee. And it's Bogdanovich in at the 3 spot. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. And so it's Toronto winning this one. Both teams played well, but these guys had the edge.
Yeah, I think so. They were just steak knife sharp. Very on top of their game here.
Well said. Thank you for joining us for this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, Kevin Harlan saying see you next time.